You have had games where your opponent does stupid things and you don't know how to punish it. Well, the previous video was about your opponent doing stupid things, and be confident. People make a lot of mistakes. By the way, I know the opening until here. Like this. I have no clue what I'm doing. I thought this was a nice move, just attacking the weak pawn. Developing the knight is good. I thought about this first, but I didn't know what to do after this. Just retreat. Yeah, that looks dumb. That looks stupid. That's the reason why I put my knight out first. He just developed, I developed, he developed, I developed. He did this weird move, but it's fine. I developed, he developed, and I went for the wrong pawn break. Now we have this position. So what's going on? We're both just stacking pieces. By the way, we have 8 things on one file. And it's completely symmetrical, which is hilarious. Just a random fun fact. And I am trying to develop my pieces and make a minority attack on the queen side. And after this inaccuracy, there follows a inaccuracy. What he should do is take space where I want to attack. I think this is. So I'm clearly indicating like I want to take to open up my bishop. I want you to take to develop my bishop or my knight. My mouse is very annoying. So I'm just trying to develop and break something open just so I can throw this forward. He pushes his knight in the center, which is too quick because I can't just take, and win a tempo on your bishop. Apparently just trading it off instantly is the best, but I thought about I go here, take, and now that I have made this weird maneuver with my queen, you can take, and why did I thought that was quite dumb. So that's why I didn't want to do this. You can, by the way, just make this pretty symmetrical again, and now I will have my queenside attack as I wanted, but I thought this was quite dumb. So I thought here, attack the bishop to win a tempo, and if you take, I can take with the knight and argue that the d3 square is very weak. So he retreated his bishop all the way, which is the best move. And now I ask for a bishop trade. So he danced a salsa, and now he can trade it off or don't trade it off. So how you find all of this is just I developed. I thought I have more development. Let's make a pawn break that serves my long-term plan. And now he just made a piece active, so I thought takes, win a tempo. He wastes a tempo going away, so now I can just trade off the piece because he wastes 1, 2, 3 tempos on it. So I can just trade it off, put my queen in the center. This pawn break is fine because now if he takes and takes, my knight sees this. So I'm not scared of takes because I can take with the knight. And now why are all of these squares so weak? That was my plan. So in this case I could castle, put my rooks on the queen side, launch an attack, and just kill him on the light squares. By the way, I'm threatening check, and then you're forced to take. Now I have the only bishop, and I can still start my minority attack, 2 against 3, put my rooks here very quickly, probably win one of these pawns, and I would argue that this is very winning. Let's say you play this, that should be a very bad move. Here you're forced to take, and this position I would argue is very, very pleasant and easy to win for black. Like you take some space, he tries to be annoying. I do not understand this move. Is this not annoying? Yeah, and he can win a tempo. I will go back here. Castle, castle. And I mean, what do you do for white? Put a knight in the center, fair enough. We just go back, put a rook here, and just attack. Oh, it's quite strong that you're controlling the b5 square, honestly. Fair enough, maybe it is. That's why our bishop should go here, even though you can win a tempo. What if he just repeats? I don't want a repetition. I will very much play this for a win, yeah. And now let's see you attack me again. I can defend stopping you from castling. Attack. Bishop can get in. You can stop me from castling. Put a rook over here. What now? I don't know what the plan is. Take some random space. Is this a bad move? Attack. Retreat. Oh, you can just attack it. If I go back. Castle. Yeah, if I have to put my rook here in order to castle, it's quite... Wow, this tactic, my queen is overloaded. Yeah, so it is a quite nice position to play with black, but castling could get very annoying. Fair enough. So why don't we just castle here? Take, take, take. Knight goes here. We castle first. You kick. We retreat, and now this position is very nice. Yeah, we can just retreat, put a rook on the open file. And yeah, you should launch this attack, which is quite difficult to find with this weak of a king. And I can just double up, put pressure everywhere I want, put pressure on your light square, start a minority attack. Like, this position is fantastic for black. So that's how you find all of those IDs. So he, instead of taking, blocks. But this, first of all, kills your bishop. Second of all, are you really going to castle in this structure? Like, I don't know. So what was I thinking about now? So first of all, I can castle. Second of all, I want to start a minority attack. So how am I going to start a minority attack? With my rook here, I can put pressure on the queen, so that if I take, you have to take. Now I'm in a Carlsbad structure, and I can start a minority attack, which is very, very nice. The engine wants to just castle. This is an inaccuracy because it just drops a pawn. I now take, which is the best move. Instead of just taking a free pawn, he takes back, and I castle, which is bad because I just have a free pawn, but I only saw it after. But he castles, which is horrible because this is a free pawn, you have to move. What now? So we're up a pawn, this king is weak, this bishop is trash. How do you attack it? I'll give you a second, like try to formulate a plan. Actually pause the video, how will you attack from this position? So what I'm thinking about is, first of all, this is nice. One problem, he controls the h5 square. Second of all, I would maybe even want to sack a bishop here, but this is well defended because he blocked in his own bishop. Second of all, I'm thinking, can this be useful? Can I maybe infiltrate on the light squares with my queen? So can I move this pawn to get in? Or can I maneuver? But he controls this diagonal. This is completely shut off. So I will have to make a weird maneuver like this, but he still controls two of those squares, so that's difficult. He controls this diagonal. Can I maybe let this piece move and try to get in like this? Do I maybe make a pawn break so I can push this, so I can put my queen on this new diagonal? Maybe. So what plan do you start? Do you want to just bring your pieces to the king? Do you want to push this pawn? Do you want to just start a minority attack, break the queen side open, bring your rooks and attack like this? Uh, how do you use your queen? How do you use your rooks? Is it even good to move this knight? Do you move this bishop? This is quite difficult. What I thought of was that I want to do this so that I can put my queen here to make this battery, to put pressure on this bishop so that this pawn is pinned to this bishop, so I can push the knight, push this pawn with a lot of tempo on the pinned pawn. But in order to push this pawn, I need control over the h5 square. So I have to put my knight here to gain control over the h5 square first. That's what I thought. The engine likes the pawn break in the middle ID more. So best move, this is the best move. I should push. Knight goes here, retreat the bishop, attack it again. Take, take, check, not check, save the bishop. Retreat, I get in with a check. Nope, I make a pawn break, activating my rook. You have to retreat and bring my other rook. Yeah, I wouldn't have found this at all. So let's say I have this position, right? What happens after takes? I move my bishop with this battery. You have to defend. I can push this, I think. Oh, look at sack this so that I can try to get in. Oh, but you can always move your bishop and this is too strong either way. Fair enough. So I should take this, gaining control. And you should take more control. Let's say you just mess around. Is this bad enough? Let's say you take... Can I sack? Is this not strong enough? Oh, you can't save yourself. Devastating. Okay, that's annoying. Wait, this just sacks a rook. What if I take? Take, queen takes. I take... I mean, I'm just up 3 pawns. Oh, the exchange in a pawn. Yeah, so the engine liked the other ID more. I mean, to open up this diagonal so that you have to defend and give the exchange is the point. I didn't see that at all. So he defended like this. So what am I thinking about now? I move my knight here to push this pawn and to pin this. So the two good moves, in my opinion, are putting my queen here to pin this instantly so that you cannot push this pawn to maybe try and blockade my bishop, or moving this pawn. If I move this pawn, you might make this pawn break, so I have to take, take. But that does win a bishop, so that doesn't really make sense, but I push the pawn. The engine prefers to start a queenside attack, so that if I do this, I get something like this, and you have to force the pawn forward. Now this is very weak. And the engine wants to make a bruise like that. And if you know me for a while, my chess style is making little bruises and finding the most annoying way to put pressure on it. What did I do as a bruise right now? Well, your king is a big bruise, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on the king. So he defends like this. Now, do I want to trade bishops or not? Well, one easy concept is when attacking, don't trade pieces. I feel like I am attacking the king, so I don't want to trade pieces, but if I move it here, you can repeat. So I moved it back all the way, which is a good move. Now you put your pawn there. So, first of all, what does this do? This deactivates my knight. Second of all, if I push, now you can push your pawn with, and now this is defended by pawn, which is very strong for you. But this does weaken this pawn. So now I just forced another bruise. You were scared of my knight entering this pawn break to occur, so you moved another pawn. Now this diagonal is a bruise, so that this pawn break is stronger. These pawns are little bruises, and your bishops are very not active. These bishops are dead. So I just generated another little bruise. So how do I put pressure on it? I put my queen here, pressuring this bruise and pinning it to the bishop so that I can maybe make this pawn break. Again, the engine wants to pawn break in the center so that this weak diagonal opens up. You have another very useful concept. When you have more activity, make a pawn break in the center. I have so much more activity. Let's look at this sample line. So I break in the center. It's pinned, so you cannot take. You have to defend with the knight. And I could take knight takes and sack my queen, take your queen, take, pin your knight. Oh, I cannot pin it because your rook sees there. Okay, so that doesn't work. Take. How do you defend against this though? Massive pinning this, and this is still a pin. Rook goes here, and that's just fine. What if I take? Rook has to take. I can sack my queen. Now you can take. I take with a check, and I'm only up a pawn, and my whole attack is gone. Fair enough, that's horrible. Yeah, okay, so after knight this, I should push to break things open. And what is the most human? Like, what is even my threat? What if takes, bishop takes? Let's say you just want to trade because I'm attacking. You take. Now this is difficult to defend. So let's say that is not the move. So you just have to defend your back row. I'm not quite sure that I would find rook c6. I mean, takes, pin the bishop, unpin. Did I sack? How am I down a point now? Oh, but I take this, right. So take, and now I'm up 2 pawns. I mean, fair enough. So that's also just a good move. The engine line is this, and I have to retreat my bishop. I think in this... Oh, I would prefer this so I can put my... But that just drops a knight. Yeah, so I have to go back, which is quite annoying. Now you can rush me. Momentum is shifting a little. And I don't understand this move at all. Now you are pawn breaking me. Knight takes. Bishop goes out. Why did I put my queen here? Like, imagine my queen is here and I could just infiltrate. Rook goes there. Takes. Attack the queen. Attack my queen. Is this not a fork? And now you have to attack and just give up the knight. Oh, your queen is trapped. Okay, wow, this is beautiful. This should be a puzzle. Your queen is trapped. What do you do? Wait, your queen can just go here. Oh, but then this... No? Yeah, just save your bishop, of course. Takes, then save the bishop. Your queen is trapped, so this is a beautiful puzzle. Like, what do? Your queen is trapped. Attack my queen. I have to go, attack my queen again, give up a piece, and now you can save your queen. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful puzzle. I mean, obviously you're still losing, but it's a beautiful puzzle. Um, yeah, I didn't see this at all, obviously, but it's a beautiful sample line. I would have never found this ID. So what did I do? I have created a new Bruce. I just put pressure on it. And he has this miracle defense, which is quite annoying. He's defending his bishop, defending the pawn. What do I do? This looks nice, but you can just push, and this is not a threat. Um, yeah, so that's annoying. So what I found was, so you know in boxing where like there's different types of punches, but if you can predict what your opponent is about to do, you know that the different types of punches put weight on different legs. So if you know he's gonna throw a jab, if I'm correct, you put all of your weight on your front leg with a jab. So if you know a jab is coming, you can just kick the front leg, all of his weight is on it, and he will collapse. So what I thought is like the knight is his front leg. Without this knight, his structure would collapse. So this is one of the fine moves. I just attack his leg. This is a miracle defensive piece, so I attack it. He finds the best move again, which is just defending this pawn. And I now see an opportunity. So the queen was guarding this Bruce. This is a weak pawn. This is weak, this is weak, this is an important piece. I'm attacking an important piece. And he has a weak king, weak pawn, and a weak diagonal. So those are all of his bruises. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on this. He defends his bruises with a new bruise. So I attack that bruise. Now that I'm attacking this bruise, he has to defend all of his other bruises instead of this bruise. So what do? I just slide off the way and just ask like, okay, now how are you going to deal with this bruise? I'm just asking questions all of the time. So now he cannot defend this bruise with that. He cannot defend the bruise with this. How come? Because my bishop is so insanely active. So how do you outplay a 1700 opponent this easily? But your piece is incredibly active. Attack him. Put pressure. Your pressure will create bruises. Put pressure on the bruises. It's not that difficult. And if you put pressure on bruises, guess what? It will become bigger bruises. I was just threatening to trade bishops. That was the tiny bruise. What did he respond? He shut out his bishop and made his king weak, dropping a pawn. Now I won the pawn, I let his rook move, his king's still weak. Now he has more bruises because I put pressure on a little bruise. To defend everything, he made more bruises, which makes this a bruise. This is now a bruise. By the way, this bruise is because he moved his bishop in the opening. Like, if we go all the way back, created a bruise, put pressure on the bruise, defend the bruise, develop, 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 develop. This is an inaccuracy. He does this, what do? I try to win tempo, which will create a little bruise. he invests a tempo in the bishop. So I try to trade it because it will create a little bruise. What does he do? He chose to make this bruise, which is horrible. So what did I do? I developed again. He just dropped a pawn, which is a massive bruise. I did takes, so that now I have the easy plan to make a minority attack, which will be a future bruise. I castle, which isn't the most accurate. He castles. Now I have a free pawn, so now his king is bad. Now the rook has to move. I just develop because I want to put pressure on his bruise. He has to try and defend. It doesn't work. He just made another bruise, and these pawns are bruises. The king is a bruise. Everything is a bruise. And this is still a bruise because of his opening. So I put pressure on the bruise. He puts a lot of defensive weight on this knight. So I activate my bishop while attacking a very important defensive piece. So now he has to allocate his queen to defending a stupid pawn which is weak because he pushed it and then pushed this pawn, which made a lot of bruises. And now I'm like, okay, but what about this bruise? And because I did it while constantly activating my pieces, you cannot defend this. And it looks like a miracle, but this is so logical. Like, obviously you cannot defend this if the bishop is this active. So he found the best move as well, is to defend it like this, but now this is weakened again. I now just slide out of the way, which isn't the most accurate, but I thought I'm putting pressure on this still. I could put more pressure on it. I could do whatever. I'm just trying to pose more problems and more threats. He pushes this, which is an inaccuracy. Why is this an inaccuracy? Like, actually think, why is it an inaccuracy? If you're a learnchess subscriber, it's very obvious to you why this is a inaccuracy. Pushing a pawn, look to the Tetris piece behind it. All of those are weakened. All of those are potential bruises. What is a very important thing on one of the red squares? This pawn. This is now a massive bruise. Okay, so now let's color all of the bruises. How can we put a lot of pressure on all of these? Well, simple. Take, queen goes here. Attack on a bruise, attack on a bruise. Try to defend. I'm just posing threats, I'm posing annoying questions, I'm making bruises. He defends like this, that just drops a pawn. He tries to counterattack me now, which just makes bruise. All of these are bruises. King is weakened. I was expecting rook here. Why is this bad? I can sack my queen, which I'm not really a fan of. I mean, I don't know. I don't like two rooks against the queen, to be honest. So I don't know. What is there another move except sacking the queen? Queen to b4, yeah, that is what I wanted to play. So what? I want to put pressure on this bruise, and I don't care if he takes. Apparently it's not an inaccuracy to just not sack my queen, but I'm not a fan of those positions. So I'm just posing more threats to more bruises. I want a second pawn. He tries to go for counterplay. I can take. So now this is the position. I have a lot of pressure on this bruise. I just take it. Now I have a threat because this is a bruise. So he has to defend. I can just give a check. This activates my queen. My knight. What am I talking about? So now what do we do? We're completely winning. How do we stop this game? We could trade queens. Completely valid. Takes, he's forced to take. Give this check, he's forced to move. Take the bishop, he'll recapture. You have 3 extra pawns, 2 passed pawns, just push it and you will win. You will win. Just make sure you don't lose the open file, push your pawns with your king, you will win. The other way to win, activate your pieces. Just activate. I give a check. Why? Because he will have to move or block. Now my rook is in. I'm again just posing threats, activating pieces. He slides out of the way. I can just take a pawn with a check. Now I have 4 passed pawns. Slides out of the way. I just bring my other rook. Apparently, oh, that is beautiful. Do you see the tactic behind rook takes? Like, pause and look for the tactic. Rook takes is devastating. If queen takes, you have this. If rook takes, you have this. That's incredible. Beautiful, beautiful. I didn't see that at all. So they go here, I bring my other rook. Fair enough. What now? He asks for a queen trade. Yeah. So, what is the more resilient way to play? I don't know, quite a difficult situation. So let's say you try to trade some pieces. I have a check, attack my knights. Yeah, I just win a bishop with a check. Yeah, that's horrible. So let's say you slide out of the way to try something. I still have check, have to move. I can now bring my rook. That was my plan. Attack my queen again. Oh, that just sacks a rook with a check, yeah. So that's the best move, sack a rook with a check. But like, what else do you play? A very difficult question, because if you just try to slide out of the way, I have check. Block, check, move, mates. Yeah, so like, this is horrible just because I activate my pieces. So, what did you learn? Learn your openings, learn the plans of your opening, and just try to make these small bruises. He made a little bruise, I made a little bruise, won a pawn because of it, tried to attack the bruises, didn't trade while attacking. That is very, very instructive. Now he made another bruise. I just attack bruises. I attack key defenders. He defends, but I just keep attacking bruises. I don't want to trade while attacking, except if he just makes a bruise for it. So now I have take stakes. I can attack bruises. He just lets me have one of his bruises, which creates another bruise and activates my queen. And after all of that, I can just take, break open his king, and activate my pieces. And now I just activate all of my pieces, and I have a inevitable mate. By the way, I want to know the checkmate. After here, take, go there, and now I can check, move, check, move, check, nope, check, and now just ladder mate. Damn, I just zigzag my knight to just ladder mate you. This is insane. I'm up 22 points of material. And I mean, I could make queens of all of these if I want to, but yeah, so this is very instructive and like the easiest way to win against 1700s. If you got anything from this, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.